Hey guys, Barton Game at today, bring you another video, and today will be the first video for our Battlefield 6 weapon series. And today we're going to cover the M277 or the SIG Sauer MCX Spear or the M7 rifle. So we're going to go into details here about the weapon. I'll show you this build, some of the good builds that I think are best with this, as it's my furthest leveled up weapon. Then we'll look at a potential BR build also, as the BR should be launching tomorrow as of this video, if I do release it when I'm recording it. The BR is launching on the 28th with Season 1. So we'll look at that, and then I'll go into some gameplay here with the weapon. And I'll give you some commentary just showing, talking about the real-life weapon stats and information about the M7 in real life. So let's go ahead and get into it here. I'm not sure what this series is going to be called yet. Can't really call it Weapon Conversion Series. We'll probably go with something like an in-depth or something like that. But let's go ahead and back out. Take a look at the weapon here. So the M7 is a carbine or a carbine, depending on which side of the pond you're on. Available for engineer class, typically, if you're in locked mode. If not, it's available for everything. But you unlock this, I believe it was level 10 or 11. So it's unlocked pretty early on. And you can see here the description, the M277. Now, 277 is a nod to the type of cartridge that it fires, which is, you can see the description, chambered in 6.8 by 51 millimeter or 277. Newly fielded rifle intended to overmatch at range and at the cost of magazine capacity. So, again, this was awarded the NGSW bid to replace the M4. So let's go ahead and look at the rifle here. I'm going to customize it. We'll strip this thing down to the base version that you start with here. Let me reset it. And then we'll look at the base version. So this is how it comes unlocked. You get the Vortex variable 1 to 5. You get the 20 round magazine. And you have the custom SIG Sauer suppressor on there for 30 attachment points out of the 100-point system. So some of the best builds that I've played with here, if we go ahead and we'll go with the flash hider. Now, the suppressor, because it's 30 points, again, it's really good in certain situations, for sure. And I think for the BR, it will be a must. But the flash hider, I think, is also a good go-to. You will not show up on the minimap with suppressors or the flash hiders. If you use things like the brakes or the compensator, you're going to show up on the minimap and be 3D spotted on the map. So it can be very difficult. If you're trying to, play stealthy, you're going to be spotted much easier. So a flash hider, suppressor, that's typically how it's always been in Battlefield. So I would recommend, if you're not running a suppressor, to run the flash hider. The recoil is not bad on this weapon. There's really no need for a brake, I don't believe, given some of the other attachment options that you need. So for the optic, what I'm running here, and you see I have the weapon at level 35, so I have almost everything. It goes up to level 50, which I just think eventually I'll level things up to level 50, but for the sake of the time it takes, I'm not doing that right now. So you have the L-cans and some other scopes here. I'm running right now the ACOG 3.5. So this one, I'm not sure what level it is unlocked at because I already unlocked it. I want to say it was 20-something most likely, maybe early, yeah, definitely 20s. So we'll put that on there. And then I think for the optic accessory, right, you have canted basic irons, you have the canted red dot, and you have the ability on certain optics like this one to mount the top-mounted RMR. So that's going to be 10 points, and I love it on this weapon. I think this scope with a top-mounted RMR is almost a must on every weapon that I will run. It's the closest thing we have to a hammer, obviously, in the game, so we're going to go with that. Now, for the barrel option, you have basic, and it's 13-inch basic. You have a 13-inch heavy barrel. You have a 16-inch extended, and you have a heavy extended, and you have a light 13-inch fluted barrel. So what I'm running here is we'll probably end up running the heavy extended is what I was running. So heavy extended barrel improves firing accuracy over prolonged periods of increased projectile velocity. So this will just decrease your bloom. You should be tap firing no matter what, but this will decrease your bloom if you are in situations at close to medium range where you do need to just hold down the trigger. Now, for the underbarrel attachment, you have a lot of different options here. The grenade launcher, I don't have it selected. Otherwise, you would have it on there. I think some of the best options are the stubby. But again, the stubby and the stubby gips. So the canted stubby, the stippled stubby, and the low profile stubby are all going to cost you 45, 35, and 30. So I don't necessarily think it's worth it. You obviously get a huge control buffer for that. So at the cost of over a break or something like that, it may be for those high recoil weapons. But for this case, we're going to run either of the verticals, I think, are really good, these two. So the ribbed vertical or the 6H64 vertical are both very, very good on this weapon. So we'll go with the ribbed vertical. You get a slight increase in control with the 6H64, but again, the weapon's pretty easy to handle. Now, for the magazine, you start with a base 20-round magazine. You get a 50-round magazine, which I don't know why anybody would want to use that. 20-round fast, 25-round fast, and a 30-rounder. So I think the 20 is perfect. 25-round is perfect on this weapon. The base 20 makes it a little bit difficult to take out multiple targets in certain situations. I think 25 is the perfect medium with that. So we'll run the 25-round magazine up to 6.8 by 51. And then for the ammo attachments, you obviously excuse me, have FMJ, the tungsten core, hollow point, and frangible for 20. So we're going to leave those for right now. Ergonomics, mag catch, mag flare, and the trigger, which perform weapon performance and semi-auto, reducing recoil and increased accuracy. I'm not running any of these. I'm going to run a top-mounted accessory here. Going to run the green laser on this one. You obviously, again, going up different attachment points, which we can't fit. So we'll run the green laser at 10, and that leaves us 5 extra points here. So we can, we don't really have the ability to use anything else. We run penetration rounds, and this is pretty much my build right now. So this is the build that I'm running, and I like this build. I think the only difference I would make here for a BR build I would get rid of the laser and maybe switch down to a 20-round fast mag or swap out the barrel. The barrel I think is fine. Everything's going to be 10, your lowest option. So I would I'd go for a 20-round fast mag, get rid of the laser, and I would run probably one of the suppressors would be my option for the BR. Other than that, this is the build I would run. Now, for optic-wise, as far as different options that I don't have yet, you have another 5 times scope there, which again, some of these you can see you have the top-mounted RMR on it. That's really it. I mean, this I think is the perfect build for this weapon out of my play style. Now, again, it is really good. Sometimes I'll swap out attachments and put a suppressor on there, or that's really it. That's pretty much how I run this weapon. I think even with the basic barrel, or I think the 20-round, the 13-inch fluted one I get, it will be nice also. But this is the build. So pretty good weapon. I'll take it into the firing range here and show you guys really quick. But first off, again, the SIG MCX Spear. So again, you have the 25-round magazine on there. You have fire controls are ambi. You have the right side charging handle as well as the AR-15 style rear charging handle, and you have the forward assist on this also. So that's the weapon. Again, 6.8 by 51. You have the foldable buttstock there also. Let's go ahead and back out. We'll take it to the firing range so I can show this thing off for you guys, and then we'll get into the gameplay. So you can see here, the recoil, not bad at all if you're just tap firing. And then obviously close quarters here. You have the top model RMR. I think works perfectly for this. Really, I'm only going to the 3.5 ACOG when I need to at certain ranges. But even at these longer ranges, this the RMR works perfectly. So again, just for tap firing, like at longer ranges, is where this comes in handy. Obviously, you can mount also for increased accuracy. Now, if I back out, I'll just show you what it is if I put a suppressor on there. Let's get rid of that. Let's go with the base. We'll go with a 20-rounder, and then we should be able to get our suppressor on there. That's for 90, and then we can keep the laser on there. So take a look at this build and see how this handles in the firing range just with a suppressor. The suppressor, obviously the noise profile, but you're still, compared to the flash hider, you'll still be off the radar here. You should always be tap firing except for these closer range engagements to reduce bloom. These close range ones, again, you can get away with full auto, but these longer ones, and even this medium range, I would just slightly tap fire. just practice it in the firing range, and it's pretty good. So, love this weapon. Right now, it's probably my favorite weapon in the game. I have the most time with it, and obviously you have your green laser there also. And as far as shots to kill go, so it's about a 4-shot to kill. Let's try it on the long target. It should be 4. 4 shots to kill. So, really good weapon. That's the SIG Spear, or the M7 rifle. Let's go ahead and now we'll jump into the gameplay with this weapon, and we'll go over some stats for the weapon in real life. So, jumping in, just playing, I think we're playing Breakthrough here, closed weapon Breakthrough. This was one of the portal modes that was featured the other week when I did get this gameplay. So it is nice because you get a, if there's not full with players, it'll fill with bots. So it is a good way to level up weapons. So we had a good mix here. Really depending on the time of the server, but mostly we had mostly real players in here. But it was good to run across some bots now and then just to level up the weapon a little bit quicker with the kills. But again, ton of fun to use this weapon. It is my favorite weapon so far in the game, like I said. So the SIG Spear, going to some real life information for this. The SIG Spear, or the SIG MCX Spear, was initially dubbed the M5, now, or the XM5, then the XM7, now the M7. So this is the latest bid, or the production version of the NJSW program, which was adopted in 2022. I wanna say it is. So it was part of the NJSW's next generation squad weapon program to replace the M4 and the M249 light machine gun. So SIG entered the M7 rifle, was designed 6.8 by 51 millimeter SIG Fury cartridge, or the 277 round. You also have the same round for the M250, which is also in the game, which also won the bid to replace the M249 SAW. Now the purpose of this was to next generation squad weapon program was obviously to the M4, you're losing velocity. They noticed a lot of engagements in Afghanistan, for example. The M4 was not able to reach those longer engagements, whereas a heavier caliber weapon, like, for example, the enemies with AK-47s, the old AKMs, things like that, were able to reach it because it was a larger caliber. Really, the U.S. had to engage with things like a SCAR Heavy, M14, and something like that in the 7.62 by 51 platform. In order to reach those long-range engagements and have the velocity to get kill shots. Now, part of this program was to defeat next-generation or near-peer body armor for future conflicts. So again, for theoretically, if we ever got into a combat with Russia or China, they wanted a cartridge that would have velocity at those ranges and have the ability to penetrate near-peer body armor. Comparable to our own. So that was the real purpose of this. The second place in this was the M277. We saw that in Battlefield 2042. Hopefully we see it in this game as well. The M277 I feel should have won the program personally, but what do I know? I haven't fired either of them, but the M277 was a bullpup version of the NJSW bid, and I thought it was just overall a better weapon. But the Army went with the M7 rifle instead. Again, firing that 6.8 by 51 millimeter cartridge. Now, it was also entered in the CSAS program for mid-range carbines, and it did not win that program. Which is interesting that it won the NJSW, but it did not win the CSAS. I don't remember what won the CSAS program, but it was not the M7 rifle. So it is available also on the civilian market for a whopping $5,000, but again, it was adopted April 19th of 2022. It was announced the winner of the NJSW program to replace the M4 pattern rifles, and then the M250 to replace the M249 SAW, both firing that 6.8 by 51 millimeter cartridge. So the type of weapon, it's an assault rifle, it's a battle rifle, it's a carbine, it's a semi-automatic rifle. There's different versions of the weapon given the barrel size. You have the SIG MCX Raptor, which is the same weapon just with an 8-inch barrel. Now, unfortunately, we don't have that barrel option available in the game, so we can't really convert it to anything. Place of origin is the United States. It's been in service since 2022. It has not seen combat per the U.S. military as of yet, but I know they're producing 7.62 by 51 versions over in Ukraine for use there. Design period started in 2019 as part of the NGSW program. Manufacturer is SIG Sauer. The mass of the weapon is 8.38 pounds, with the length overall being 36 inches. Barrel length is 13 inches or 330 millimeters. The cartridge is that 277 Fury round. It also takes and the 277 Fury is a 6.8 by 51. It also takes 7.62 by 51 NATO or 6.5 Creedmoor, given a barrel change. The action for the weapon is a short-stroke gas-operated piston rotating bolt, and the muzzle velocity for the weapon, for the information that's available, is 915 meters per second or 3,002 feet per second. Now, I don't know how accurate that is because a lot of the information around the weapon is pretty proprietary for the SIG Sauer's actual cartridge in the round. So I'm not sure that information has really been made public. I think this is based off of testing with similar cartridges and the 7.62 by 51 and the 6.5 Creedmoor. I don't think the information has been made public regarding the actual SIG Sauer 277 round. Now, the feed system is SR25 pattern box magazines. It has the standard 20 and a 25 round magazine available. I don't believe there is a 30 round magazine that's offered from SIG, but there could be obviously third-party manufactured magazines for that. So we see the 30 round cartridge here in this game. We saw it in Call of Duty and other games, but standard is a 20 round box mag, and you also have the 25 rounder available. So that's the SIG MCX Spear. Again, some cool features of this: completely ambi fire controls or ambidextrous. You have the left side charging handle, which is non-reciprocating, and you have the rear AR-15 pattern charging handle, as well as the forward assist on the weapon as well. Overall, like I said, I really like this weapon in the game. It hits hard. It's great for my playstyle, and it's the weapon I've put the most time in with so far. I'm really enjoying it, and I think it is a really, really great weapon. I'm looking forward to using it in the Battle Royale and see how it handles and compares to others. So let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks for sticking with me. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll be covering Season 1, the Battle Royale. I won't be having weapon videos out as fast as I wanted, because right now there's not a firing range or a test range to go in and just build things and test. Kind of like with Call of Duty, you could do that in the offline mode. Can't really do that here. Hopefully they add a test range or a firing range similar to Battlefield 4 where you can do that, but for right now, it's just going to be a grind of me trying to get weapons at least into the level 30 something, so I can do a video like this. Again, the spear here, I think I have it level 35 or 36, which is pretty far enough for me to do this video. So the weapon videos will be maybe one every week or two. I have a lot going on right now, so I'm not able to game as much as I want to grind this, but I think within a few more weeks here, I'll be putting in more time and hopefully get these videos out a little quicker. Let me know down below your thoughts of this weapon, thoughts of Battlefield 6 so far, what you're excited for in Season 1 and beyond, and what weapons you want me to cover next. I'm working on a few different weapons in parallel right now, so hopefully I'll get some of these leveled up and can get a few more videos out a little bit quicker here over the next few weeks. So let me know your thoughts down below. Till next time, this is Buffner Gaming with an in-depth weapon video here for Battlefield 6 with the M277 or the SIG Sauer M7 here in Battlefield 6. So next time, this is Buffner Gaming, out.